So when I was growing up, I loved watching movies. And some of my favorite movies of all time were animated classics like Peter Pan, Finding Nemo, and countless others. And I just loved the fact that it's a way of escaping from the real world. And I just love to tell stories. And I found that animation can really tell any story you want. Probably my favorite animated feature film would be Finding Nemo.
Hello.
That was my very first theater experience memory. It's the first time I've ever been to a movie theater in my whole life. I think I was around 4 or 5. And my little sister was 2 or 3 at the time. And I remember there's a scene where Bruce is saying,
"Why trust a shark, right?"
And then he turns and goes right at the camera. I was like, to a little 4-year-old on a big screen shark, that was like, oh my goodness, what's going on? I wonder what my sister's thinking. I look over at her, and she had a cup of lemonade, and she just goes and drops it, and it spills everywhere. She was just in complete shock. And to this day, I'll never forget that. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I first got started in animation in the 4th grade with stop motion. I was watching this new thing called YouTube, and my dad was showing me these videos that people make where Lego figures come to life, and I pointed at the screen and said, I have to do that. So my dad got me some software, and I taught myself how to pose the characters frame by frame and bring them to life. And I did that through middle school, but then it kind of died out around 8th grade because, you know, Legos started to get not so cool. But then my freshman year of high school, I went to a summer camp where they taught you an animation program called Blender. And I learned, oh, animation can be 3D, it can be all digital to where you don't even need to have physical characters. You can make anything you want. And so I've self-taught myself in Blender for the past probably 6 years now. And I've been doing everything from 2D puppets to 3D characters. Any animated film would start with the concept art stage or the story stage, where it's basically just figuring out the idea and who your character is, what they're doing, why do we care. Then they go into the storyboarding phase, which is where you draw a little clip art of the characters, mostly in stick figure form, of what they're going to be doing. You do more sophisticated drawings of the characters with detail and textures on them, and then that goes to the modeling department, where they take your 2D drawings and realize them as full 3-dimensional characters. Those 3D models are taken to the rigging department, and then they'll map it so that they move correctly and you get the folds in the skin the way that a normal person would move. My job is to capture the performance of the character, of the voice actor, and the digital character and make them one. So usually you'd work with the audio of the scene, and the character might be screaming, "Oh no, how are we gonna survive?" And you get the character from the rigging department, and they're just standing there, "Oh no, how are we gonna survive?" And so what you have to do is you have to pose their arms and make them go, "Oh no, how are we gonna survive this?" And so you basically emote through the character, and you record a lot of reference footage of yourself panicking for that specific scenario. And then after the animation is done, it's taken to the lighting department, where they give it more realistic lighting on the skin, and they start to composite, and then the final render is done, and then it ends up in a movie or on YouTube.